Hey everyone, I am doing a video response to Amethyst Ascension's Deepening Your Connection spread. She asked that people do it, and so I am doing mine. I already pulled my cards because I am working with a deck that takes more time. So I already shuffled, I already pulled my cards, and they have pairings. So that's why it takes more time, is because I'm working with the Fairy Lights Tarot. And the Fairy Lights Tarot, the artist created one image and then kind of cut it in half. And then one part of the image is a card and the other part of the image is another card. But they can be read separate, or you can pair them together for a full, broader picture and read them that way. I'm sure there's other ways to read them. Right now I'm using the pairings. I spent a lot of time with this deck last week, just getting to know it and kind of learning that it is more of an intuitive deck. I'm trying to be more intuitive with my stuff. Anyways, the pairings work really well for an intuitive reading. So I pulled out my pairings already. That way you guys didn't have to wait on that. So anyways, it might be a little bit longer of a reading. So sorry about that if this ends up being a long video. I didn't mean for it to be. But anyway, so the connecting with, deepening your connection, you can do it with anybody, a relationship, an ancestor, and yourself. And I'm choosing to do it with myself because I want to work on some shadow work and work on myself more. So anyways, this is a 5-card spread technically. Card 1 is on this side, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 is on this side. And if you go to Amethyst Ascension's video, which I will link in the description, she actually has all of it in her description so you can see the whole thing. Anyways, so I'm going to start out, and I've got 2 of Swords is my first one for wisdom. Now, it says, what do I need to learn from this relationship? So what do I need to learn from myself, okay? So when I'm looking at these cards, the cool part about the Fairy Lights cards is that they have both sharp parts of the image and then blurry parts of the image. And I don't know how well you'll be able to see it in here. But the blur and the sharpness kind of, like the sharpness is up here and then the blur is kind of down in here. And so the cards have a lot of left up for interpretation. So anyways, 2 of Swords, the wisdom part, what do I need to learn basically from myself, the relationship with myself. So if you look on here, the bridge is not completely in focus, okay? It's not completely made. It's like a ghost bridge, and it's light that's heading to it. So you got light that's going across and all the way up, okay? And then down here, you have a bunch of like little snake or alligator type creatures that are just kind of waiting around for something to drop so they can kind of get involved or attack or, you know, sink their claws in or sink their teeth in and stuff like that. So this card is telling me that there is a bridge between myself and myself, obviously. That I need to trust that that bridge is there, that I can learn, that if I believe, then I will get a lot further. And then when you add the card that goes with it, and this card is Temperance, and it's a major arcana, and it's not the card I pulled, but it is the pairing card that gives you the broader picture. Okay, so with Temperance, it shows this intertwined line here. And then you have, it's kind of like a coming up card, a coming up and an evenness between, I'm going to say, my conscious self and my unconscious self, because that's really what I'm going to be working with. Like if I'm being truthful here, that's what I'm working with, is self and unconscious, conscious and unconscious. Okay, so the cards together show, I hope you can see it. Here we go. Here's the full picture, okay? So that you can see it. And you can see the road from this card leading all the way up and over and up to this higher learning, so to speak. So these cards right here are telling me that I just need to trust and find that balance within myself between conscious and unconscious, and that I will find it. It's there. And I just have to focus on it. I have to concentrate on it in order and believe that I'm going to make it across this and all the way up to my higher self. Okay, so that's the wisdom that I'm going to learn from myself, is to trust myself. which would be hard, especially with shadow work, right? All right, now number 2. Now this one's interesting. This one is what wise connections come from body, and then mind, and then spirit, because these are the next 3 cards, body, mind, and spirit. So here's body. Now body is 9 of Pentacles. And you'll see some berries up here, and like a little fairy and little like goblin-y creatures that are collecting, and they're bringing them somewhere, okay? It's kind of like a lighthearted card almost. There's definitely movement. There's definitely a collection, a sense of source, in my opinion, like, because here's a source, and they're collecting it, and they're going to do something with it, and they're moving in this direction. All of them are moving in this direction. The surroundings are blurry, but these guys right here have a lot more focus to them. Body-wise, movement-wise, I feel like what can I learn, or what wise connection can come from my body is that maybe I need to take care of my body. This collection there that needs to come in is this self-care that I need to work on for myself. And here's the interesting part. The pairing card that goes with this is actually the number 4 card, which is Spirit. It's the card I drew for Spirit, and it is the Hanged Man. Okay? So there you go, and you can see those berries right here. And here's the Hanged Man, and this spider-like creature that's either entwining or unentwining. It's left up to interpretation of the self, so myself, my spirit self maybe, my unconscious self maybe, that's coming out of a cocoon. And then there's these dead or lost souls down here in the bottom. And it could be that this represents more of the things I've tried in the past and it hasn't worked. And that maybe if I take better care of myself, then I will get further than if I do not. Now here's the cards together. You can see them kind of coming together right here. They're picking it from the same tree that I'd be hanging from. So basically, I need to take care of my spirit body as well as my physical body. Okay? So I kind of put those 2 cards together. And so the wisdom is, if I take care of my spirit self or my body self, then it's going to improve my spirit self or my body self. All right? And then for my mind. For my mind, I pulled the King of Chalices. Now he's a pretty strong card. He even has his little lioness by him, or cat-like creature. I think it might be a lioness. And then he's got this like drape around him that's almost fiery, you know, like a really strong strength in it. So I think my mind is really strong, and that the wisdom there, the wise connection from my mind, is that I have a very strong mind. I have a very strong will. I have a strong sense of what I want to do and accomplish, and that will help me, I think. And then the card that goes with it is the Knave of Wands, okay? The Knave of Wands. Now, the Knave, or messenger, it's a messenger card, right? The Knaves are generally messengers. And so this is a messenger card. It's coming up out of the water, it's coming up, it's coming out, it's coming into the open, it's there, it's very prominent. So I feel like the message there is that if I trust that my willpower to do what I need to do is there, if I believe in myself and just focus and concentrate, then I'm going to, my unconscious, the parts of my unconscious that I want to come out are going to come out, okay? And they're going to come out very strongly, especially given this mind over matter, right? All right. And then the last set of cards that I have is for future. And it's where are we headed, what we learn, and how we will grow, okay? So this is my future card, and I pulled another major arcana, and it is Justice. So and she's balancing right here. You can't see the eyes, you know, she's got the sword down here and she's balancing up here. So there's a lot of balancing going on without even seeing without technically knowing, like you're feeling the balance rather than seeing or conscious, or, you know, focusing completely on it like consciously. It's more like an unconscious balance is what I'm getting. And I feel like as where I'm headed is, and I will learn to be unconsciously balancing both my shadow self and my conscious self. And the card that goes with it is the Six of Chalices, okay? And you can see these two beings connecting right here. And then the way that I see it, like this one's in focus and this one's kind of out of focus, and it's coming up, and it's very white, it's very prominent. I look at this as my unconscious self reconnecting with my conscious self. So I feel like that this pairing is going to be really good. That what's going to happen is I'm going to, once I make that connection, then I'm going to find this balance, this Justice card that's going to help me balance it all out and work it all out. So in the long run, it's going to work out for me. All right, so that was mine, and I hope to see other people. So thanks for watching.